with the draw bead passive, scale a lot of range, and so you can really get out of the way of the feathers later on in the game. Berserker can then become a real threat in late game team fights, and you have early laning power. Spots out Owner immediately. He's not going to be able to clear this one out just yet. Still committing to a potential dive, though.
Yeah, Dudu, of course, needs to stack his Q. Doesn't have any stacks right now.
Oh, man, this could be really problematic. Let's see how he does manage to do this. As Doran actually tanking the turret, has to flash to get out of the way, and Dudu has survived for now. But now it's going to be Owner starting this one off. Can he actually tank this effectively? As the answer is no.
Okay, well, it ended up working out. Flashless or no, the exhaust gets a ton of value, forces Doran to flash. They get the trade.
While Faker needs one on
going for it.
There's the shockwave, just throws it down where he can. Head up hold in from life as Pioshik's coming on over. They get the flash out from Owner. Didn't have to use it on that top side of the map. In fact, probably could have perhaps saved his life, as there's a flash out from Pioshik as well. He's level 5. Another Pulverize comes in as Gumayusi in trouble once again. Explosive charges on in the rocket jump from Berserker, and Gumayusi in so much trouble. There's the battle dance as we've got the flash through from Pungyan, and Pioshik takes down Guma. Headbutt to push Carrier back as well. It is going completely ballistic here, and it's DNF that are getting all of the value. Looks like Pioshik gonna let his former teammates survive.
Advantages and snowball the game. They look for the ult onto Faker, push him down. They have that hiding Alistair there. They can challenge Owner. As we'll hold that thought until the replay here, as we are gonna have a bit of a contest from Owner. Yep. One grub did, of course, go over to Pioshik, but he does not stick around to try to smite a second, which I think is wise in this case. Didn't have his flash.
Yeah, able to just get himself over the wall pretty comfortably. I think he did actually have his flash available, but just didn't want to take unnecessary damage. As life is everywhere on this map right now. The needlework coming on in is now Doran. He throws down the equalizer, but it equals nothing, ladies and gentlemen. He's on the floor. A little bit and all that sort of stuff. It's great to see. But that was once again a little bit of an iffy situation. Pioshik going to be able to take down the Drake though, and it's all fine.
Yeah, they still end up getting the Dragon. That feels really good here for the DN Freecs. With T1 having Faker here, full control of the entry point of this grub. It's going to be really hard to fight this one out as DNF.
Oh, here we go. They did manage to get it. Let's see whether T1 just make out like bandits. Try and take just that one, but instead they're looking for a team fight. Faker with his ultimate back up again. And Gumayusi this time thankfully has Featherstorm. Owner comes in. Dudu on a flank angle. Life gonna have to use that ultimate. Does do so here. As Pioshik just taking his Raptors. It looks like these grubs aren't something they're interested in right now.
Berserker is getting some plate gold here in the bottom lane, so that this comp is very strong in mid-game T1s, especially with the control they have over set objective here on the blue buff.
All right, Life is just getting on in there as Pungyan gonna get flashed on by Faker. The shockwave does connect, and now they do manage to at least go 1-for-1. Or do they? Pioshik trying to get himself out of there, but that is somehow Carrier surviving. I have no idea how he lived there. The rest of DNF making their way in though, as Life once again starting this fight. Over the wall is Carrier, finds the knock up there onto Dudu, who now puts down the mist. He's trying to stay alive, but it's not quite working. The needlework! Oh my god, he manages to get one as Owner goes down and Faker is on the floor, and now the rest of T1 are on the wrong side of the fight. Untargetable as Pioshik's able to take down Carrier, and now Guma with no friends left has nowhere to go.
And they save the turret.
Doran's getting the turret. I don't know whether they're going to be able to save it, as he takes a lot of damage from the turret and Pungyan, as now he's going to try and cook him, and there he goes.
Oh, Pungyan, no flash in this exchange, can't get away. He thought he had the damage there to take Doran out. He loses the turret, his teleport, and his life.
The kerfuffle. DNF being able to win out there. Doran was able to equalize it, grab himself a turret. And first Star Blood actually went over to T1 as well. Of course, 5 Grub's going to be helping out with that one for an Orianna comp.
I'm not talking about the individual dragon that they're getting on third potentially to get that soul, but the soul itself is actually super powerful for Gwen that's going to get low and be in that big brawl and is going to be able to get some of that healing back.
You really want to be fighting around objectives, so it's about setting up for exactly that. And speaking of setup,
they will.
That's what they're doing here to Dudu, as over the wall goes Owner, and they look to just take down the turret immediately. The knockup does connect, and now Dudu's going to try and get in there. I don't know about that one, as Doran's already flashed away. Huge pulverize as the Gwen does go down, but the equalizer positioned pretty well. Buster shot gets Carrier out of there with his life, and the Featherstorm will eviscerate the Tristana. This is the kind of team fighting we wanted to see out of T1.
This is exactly what you were talking about in terms of this, as Doran gets 3,000 finally. Was waiting for a while while for this one.
You can imagine that Berserker would be pretty close as far as what his coffers are looking like. T1 going to utilize that reset advantage to be able to take down this Dragon. DNF not really up with the timing on their best performing players at the moment on exactly what they want to be playing. We're starting to see that DNF not really able to do much about it. His life is just going to get cooked, ladies and gentlemen. He could even just be dead right now. As Carrier goes in and Faker's able to pick that one up, but they also get Berserker as well. Just sweeps them up underneath the turret. Pyongyang gets in. It's another unfortunate teleport for this Orianna, as they just have to watch as their turret gets vaporized.
So I know Pioshik's not going to come over here and look for a smite, but he may look for a kill.
Yeah, he does throw his doggos forward.
But Doran is like, my flash for Otacon, you know, we know Pioshik's not nearby. You guys can press your D key on that one and take it out.
Yep, we take those. Probably what he's going to be saying as Carrier moves down towards his bottom side. I don't think he's going to be saving this turret as Dudu's able to lock that one down. Pioshik in position. Wait, he wasn't even lit on fire because there's a heal on this Rakan. That's just the burn.
Yep, it's just that.
That is insane.
But I mean, that was again with the lack of coordination here for DNF. They're going to go for one more Hail Mary. Okay, They decide not to because their jungler is nowhere near, and I think this is wise.
But I mean, you can't just give everything because then you just lose the game. Equalizer goes down and it's T1 that are engaging. The shockwave lands on absolutely nothing. And Dudu is now in trouble. The Gwen not feeling as powerful as she once was and will be taken out there by Ona.
They're not able to even play the Vision juggle game. They're not able to play the red buff juggle game without catastrophic results. And Faker can solo the Chemtech Dragon, which he will do here with no consequences. And I mean, T1 have the whole map. They have Baron, and once was a small gold deficit, like you said.
Bit of a zoning equalizer just to soften them up and convince them that this inner turret is not worth fighting for. And understandably, DNF will agree with them.
So I don't think they're that concerned about it.
No. And it hasn't really been hitting the right targets recently anyway, as inhibitor number 1 to go down, the second one short to follow. And DNF, I mean, they didn't look like they had much of an idea in the first few fights. I don't know whether much has changed now, as Pioshik deciding to dive forward. Does get the stopwatch out of Doran here.
More valuable in the long term, but I just don't know if there is any long term. And now T1 know that they're just like, okay, well, we can keep pushing, and there's no way Pioshik can get on top of somebody. Like, even Guma's like, let me auto this Orianna. I don't care. I have flash ult, and you don't have a Fury ult.
Yeah, and Faker and Carrier are just looking for their opportunity to scoop someone up. Carrier to get them in position, and then Faker just to finish it off as the equalizer goes down. Life goes in. There's a shockwave connecting onto 2, but I think it's too little, and it's almost definitely too late as Ona going forward, tanking up 2 turrets as Life does get the pulverize onto Guma, who will eventually go down. That was actually an absolutely sick play. They trade 1 for 1, get that prize for his team. Dudu also with Azonya's now completed. That is kind of cool. As Faker goes in, finds Pyongyang one more time, and I just don't think he has any way out. In fact, he does not, as Faker goes golden, and the red carpet is there. Life unable to walk down that one. That's a little too hot. Gets cooked anyway by Doran here, as now Ona goes in with a nice knock up onto Dudu. He has the miss down, but I still just don't think he's going to be immune. And there it goes. Pioshik on the fountain. The Sand Soldiers say you are dead, and T1 will dominate in the end of game number 1. The DN Freecs woes continue here in the LCK.
And a big statement win here from T1, bouncing back after that bro loss. They still need to win one more to take the series, but
these were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.